I wasn't planning on doing this training. Like I said before, I wasn't planning on doing this training, but I truly believe that this can help you kind of get, like I said, that like faithful snowball moving and grooving, even if you are still trying to get clarity on what it is that you're doing, even if you're still trying to formulate your business and formulate your brand. I truly feel, that's the whole purpose of Well Done Women is like we are called to be faithful. We are called to be faithful with whatever we're given. 5 talents, 2 talents, 1 talent, like whatever you're given, the call is to be faithful, to multiply it, and to use it for God's glory and for the good of others. And so each and every one of you I know has a testimony inside of you. And not just a salvation testimony, but like I was this way, I was running my life this way. God came in and now it's this way. And I think when we hear testimony, like we think of like when we're, like for me, I was 12 years old and gave my life to Jesus, in the back row of a Baptist church. But over the last couple of years, he has radically transformed my view of him, my view of the world, my relationship with him. And I, even before Well Done Women was ever created, I knew he had taught me lessons of obedience, despite it not making sense, of practical obedience, like being in his word and prayer that leads to radical obedience, hearing God's voice, all these things. So that's what I did, was share these testimonies, share these messages via social media, which then spiraled into having podcasters reach out to me. I absolutely loved sharing it. It grew my audience. And then so I started pitching myself to other podcasters. And that's what I want to teach you today is it doesn't have to be professional. I'm actually going to say like, don't be professional. It doesn't have to be professional. It doesn't have to be weird. It doesn't even have to be, complex. It's you creating a simple, organized, what I call a media kit, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. You offering to talk to other people's audience about it. You reaching out to podcasters via voice message. I'm going to teach you all of this. And you just continue to be faithful without your own podcast, without your own business, you don't need anything. You just need your message and you need the willingness to show up and to share. And sometimes it's the hardest part. You can formulate an LLC, you can build a website, but showing up and sharing sometimes is the hardest part. So I'm going to give you a couple steps. I'm going to give you 4 steps to pitch yourself to podcasters. And when I say podcasters, I just mean anyone that has a platform. So this could also be like Instagram. Like you can do lives on Instagram, which I have done before, where you reach out to an Instagram friend and say, "Hey, like if you ever want to go live, I would love to share this with your audience." All right, so step 1, in order to grow your audience and start the faithful snowball, is to create a media kit that essentially sells you, that shows who you are, that shows what you do, that shows the topics that you can talk about. I'm going to share my media kit with you in the chat right here so you can pull it up. It's a Canva template. Let me grab this real quick. Template, link. You should be able to open this up right off of here. So this is my media kit, and I realize I need to update it because my topics have evolved and changed over the last couple of years. But what essentially a media kit is, it's a simple PDF. It's 1 to 2 pages that gives podcasters everything they need to understand who you are, to say yes to have you on their show or have you on their platform. You can also send this to churches. If you are a speaker and you want to speak to small groups or to women's groups or to churches, you can send a media kit and reach out to their women's pastor and say like, "Hey, like I'm offering myself to share this message to your people." So what's inside the media kit? A professional photo. So like not an iPhone photo, but like a professional photo. So if you haven't yet gotten professional headshots, I definitely want that to be an investment in 2025 that you make for you and your ministry. So a high quality professional headshot, a really short bio of who you are so they can get to know you, um, your expertise and topics. So I typically suggest like 3 to 5 topics that you know that you can talk on, that you have authority in. So this is like your testimony. This is the thing that God, you were this way. God came in and taught you this. He sent you this trial or test or whatever. And now you're different. And now you're this way. And so that is the topics, the expertise that you can speak on. And if you have like, if you like, Jill, like you're a coach. Like if you have skill sets, then like put that in there too. Like you can teach on how to become a business coach or whatever that is. Um, add whatever you can share that tells them who you are and what you're an expert in. And then last but not least, just a call to action, like how can they book you? How can they get in touch with you? Whether that's an email, a website, a phone number. Were y'all able to open that up from my chat? Okay, great. So that's mine. It's very basic. It's very simple. There's headshots that they can grab. Um, and this is kind of the first step before you pitch yourself, before you reach out to other people. All right, so step one is create your media kit, use my template, and get it done today. Just get her done. Set a deadline and be like, I'm going to edit this. I'm going to zhuzh it up, add some photos, get that done today, save it as a PDF, and put it on your desktop or save it to your phone for easy access to send to people. All right, so that's step one is create your media kit. Step two is find the right podcasts to pitch to. So find the right people to pitch to because not every single person is going to be the right fit for what you have to talk about or what you are an expert or, have authority in, right? So you want to try to find people who have the same faith as you. I think that's first and foremost. I can't even tell you how many podcast pitches I get in my email from like new age spirituality type people. And I'm like, bro, you didn't even like look me up, okay? Because you know, like this is not gonna this is not gonna work out. So make sure that like before you pitch to anybody that they align with your faith. Like you don't want to mix that up. Unless you're going and like you're like Liz Kobo and you could like, defend the faith and like why the new age is not, no, but I wouldn't say to do that. So make sure that it aligns with your faith, your values, your niche. And what I would suggest first and foremost is start with people you already know. So start with if you know a podcaster and you have met them in person or you've met them at a workshop or you've met them wherever, start with them because podcasters want people on who they trust and that they like and that they know, like, and trust, right? So start with people that you already know. And then if they're acquaintances, use like-minded people like this group. Well Done Women is full of podcasters. And so pitch yourself in the Facebook group or reach out to them individually. Listen to their podcast and say, hey, I love your podcast. I have this message. I think your audience would like it. I would love to have a conversation with you if you're looking to book podcast guests in the future. So reach out to people that you know, reach out to people that are aligned with your faith and values, and then reach out to Facebook groups that you have like-minded people in. And you even say like, hey, I'm in Well Done Women too. And I saw that you have a podcast. I've been listening to it. It's awesome. And what I'm going to do in our Facebook group is I'm going to have anyone who's a podcaster and looking for guests to post their show in the comments so that everyone can see like, here are the shows that are offering guests right now, who are accepting guests right now. And that way you can pitch yourself to them in their DMs, which I'm going to say next is if you pitch yourself, if you say, hey, I would love to do this. Don't just email, send them a voice DM. Voice DMs are intimate and personal, and they are always listened to. Okay. So an email might get lost, a DM might get lost, but a voice memo, like they're going to be intrigued and they're going to listen to it. They'll be able to hear your voice. They'll be able to hear your personality. They'll be able to hear your excitement. And it's just that deeper level of personal connection. It's not professional. It's relatable and it's a connection. So that's where I would start when you're ready to find the right podcasts or podcasters, influencers to pitch to. And again, I want to remind you, you don't have to do this just on podcasts. I have done several Instagram lives where we've done this on Instagram Live. So that's another platform to start getting your message out there. Okay. So your first action step is to create your media kit. Your second action step is to make a list of at least 3 podcasts that you want to get on. 3 podcasts that you want to reach out to get on to talk about the message that God's put on your heart. Okay. So make your media kit, reach out to 3 people this week to get on their podcast. All right. So step 3, once you do all that, step 3 is to create your email, create your podcast pitch email. Okay. So what I just talked about before is kind of like the informal way to go about it. This is what I would consider, like, if you want to reach out to someone that you don't know, to someone that you might look up to, you know them, but they don't know you. You look up to, you aspire to be, you want to have a conversation with, and it would be just a dream come true to talk to this person. This is kind of like the formal email to do it. And again, you don't have to write this down. You can copy and paste it below, but here's what it kind of sounds like. Hey, podcast name. I love your podcast name, and especially enjoyed your episode on. So tell them the episode that you really, really enjoyed, so that they know that like you actually listened to their show. And then like any key takeaways, what you love about it, how it inspired you, how it has helped you overcome whatever, like make it personal. Okay. I appreciate how you talk about their podcast style. I appreciate how you are mission minded, have a heart for people. I appreciate how you have conversation that leads to education, whatever you appreciate about them, talk about. So you're just complimenting them to death right now. Okay. You love their show. You specifically love this episode about this thing and how it's helped you. You appreciate all the things that you like about them and how they conduct their show. And then you just say, I'd love to bring value to your audience by sharing about your topic. Okay. And so here, and then you could say, here's a few topics that I speak on: topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. If it sounds like a good fit, I'd love to connect. I've attached my media kit, so you can learn more about me and what I have, and I'd be happy to tailor the conversation to serve your audience in the best way. And so offer that, like, if you don't want these topics, like we can go off and tailor to your specific audience, because I think where most podcasters are getting burnt out, and I'm going to make this super quick so I only have a couple minutes, where most podcasters are getting burnt out is they're tired of people coming onto their show and just trying to talk all about them and their new book that's coming out and their this and their that. What podcasters want is, I want to help your audience, because that's the whole reason why podcasters podcast, is to serve their audience. And so if you focus on, I want to serve you, I want to serve your audience, I want to make sure that what I bring to the table is something that's going to help your audience get from point A to point B, like focus on that, not about you. Okay. And then just end it. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. XOXO Brittany, and then add like your social media, add your website, or whatever you have. So that is the email. Again, you can just take it, tweak it to your voice, what you have to offer. And that is step 3 to Get your email, just get it drafted to get it written out. Put it in a Google Doc or put it on a sticky on your desktop and just have it to start to sharing to podcasters. And then last step is to just follow up. Start putting stuff on your calendar. Start following up with the people that you've already reached out to. Say, hey, like here's the dates that I have available. Another thing that I want to encourage you are sometimes people are busy. That doesn't mean they're not interested. Okay. They're moms, they're business owners, they're ministry leaders. If they don't reach out to you immediately, do not go into the spiral of like, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, I'm going to go eat some more. Like, don't go there. Your mind is going to want to go there because the enemy does not want this message out. But they might just be busy. They might be, on vacation. Like, reach back out, send them a voice DM. Hey, I love Elizabeth Evans does this to me all the time. She came last month to talk about podcasting, and she does this to me all the time, and I feel like such a terrible friend. She'll say, "Hey, reaching back out to remind you about X, Y, and Z," because I'm the busy person. It's me. It's me. I forget to reach back out to people. So don't spiral if they don't reach out to you immediately. They might be face down in writing a book and then they just forgot to reach out to you. So follow back up and make the booking. Put it on your calendar and get it done. And then share the message God put on your heart and be faithful with what he's given you. So that is the quick podcast training. It is 12:29. The quick podcast training on how to pitch yourself to podcasters, get your message out there. What questions do we have? What doubt, pushback? Where are we feeling stuck? Where are we at? How are we feeling? Feel good? Is this something that you feel like you can get
I have a
going?
question.
Okay, go ahead.
Is this something people do for free, or is there payment expected from either side? Like the host requires payment, or the speaker? It's just we invite each other type thing?
Yeah. So when you're a podcaster, you have, I mean, depending on their published schedule, you have 52 weeks of the year to find guests to serve content to their audience. And so podcasters sometimes freak out a little bit because it's like they constantly have to find guests. So if you reach out to them and say, hey, here's what I can offer your people, it's a win for them because they're providing content to their audience. And it's a win for you because you're able to share the message that's on your heart, do what you're called to do, and then grow your audience because you're getting in front of theirs. So it's a win-win. So I have never, I mean, I could be totally wrong and people get paid vice versa all the time, but I think it's more just like a marketing opportunity to get out in front of people for both sides because in the same thing, you are going to share their podcast. Like, hey, I was on this podcast, their audience grows. So everybody's winning here. The audience is getting content, you're getting eyeballs on it, they're getting eyeballs on it. Um, and so no, I haven't seen anywhere where there's been like payment. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I've never researched podcasts at all. I didn't know how it worked, and that.
Yeah, I mean, podcasters can get paid many different ways. They can get paid by sponsors. So if they have so many views, like if they have millions of views, the millions of downloads and listens, then sponsors will come in and pay them to have like a little, like you've probably heard it before, like, hey, before we dive into da 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 da, like I want to talk about my vacuum. Like that they're being paid. It's just like it's like an ad. They're being paid by the vacuum company to talk about the vacuum. The way that I get paid, I don't do that for my podcast. The way I get paid is I am promoting my own products via my podcast. So I'm like, hey, if you want to jump into Well Done Women, so that's how I get paid. I don't do sponsors or ads because I don't like that. It's not the route that I'm going. There's not anything wrong with that. But yeah, I don't think, and again, I could be wrong, that people get paid by being a guest or finding guests unless they're like ultra celebrities and like, you know, doing it that way. Do y'all know anyone else on the call feel like that's not a thing? At least for us peasants down here in the world of regular people. All right. Any other questions, thoughts? Again, I'm going to put my this outline under this video so that y'all can really see it. You can copy and paste the email. I'll upload the Canva template also. You have it here in the chat. But yeah, I'm excited for you guys. Excited for you to get going, to share your message, to pitch yourself to other people so that you can grow your audience and do what you're called to do. Y'all ready for a picture? Also, next week, Liz Kobo is going to teach us all about websites, which I'm super excited about. I said this in the live, but I've had a website for almost a decade now. And Liz Kobo, about a year ago, looked at my website and she's like, "This is all wrong." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This isn't even, I don't even know what score. I got like a F score on like, I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
Said it in love.
What is it?
I said it in love. No, we
Oh
were
yeah.
talking. We were talking about website accessibility, which people don't think about. You think about if you have a brick and mortar. Oh, I need to have a wheelchair ramp. You don't think about if I have a website, I need to have enough contrast on my site. But there is website accessibility issues. So, and we won't get into that next week. But I was going to say, once you have your media kit and you have a website, put your media kit on your website also. Like if you've got topics you like to talk about, put them on your website or put it in a blog post because those things they're searchable. And so if you talk about something very niche that someone might be searching for, that's a way for them to find you. So don't just let it hide in a PDF. Put the text on your website.
That's beautiful. That is gold. So good. Yeah. So if you have questions about websites, whatever they are, bring them next week. We're going to be here back at noon Central with Liz. She's going to teach us about website platforms and which one's best for you and what you want to offer and what you want to do. And then we're just going to open it up to questions. And I'm telling you, y'all are gonna learn a ton. So get excited about that. Liz, thank you for sharing your brain with us next week. Okay, let's take a quick picture and then I will tag you girls. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Cute. All right, friends. All right. Stay tuned to this video being uploaded. That way you can copy and paste that email and have it for when you pitch. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Love you girls. Bye.